is going on YouTube? It's the big fat photo guy here, and I'm sitting out here in beautiful Ontario, California. There's actually some pretty neat mountains back there. I shot some pictures of it earlier today. And I want to talk about saving y'all some money. Let's talk about used gear. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is this channel is about enjoyment of photography. And right now, I've got so many ideas I want to share with y'all, but I want y'all to be able to come along and enjoy it too, and recreate some of the things I do, and go out and do your own thing too. So, use camera bodies. You know, people talk about different things when it comes to this. First off, I want to talk about shutter click or shutter count. Does it matter? And I'm going to say yes and no. That's kind of a crazy answer, I know. Okay. Yes, it's like the mileage on your car. It kind of is a recording of the wear and tear and how much the camera's been used. Okay, that's a simple answer. The complex answer on this is, it's all according. You know, a consumer camera with 160,000 shutter clicks on it, I'd be pretty wary. A D4 or a pro body camera with 350,000 shutter clicks on it, you still got 100,000 left in its supposed life, and they usually well exceed it. The pro cameras will go well past their supposed shutter click life. Same with the D800s, the D810, the D850. They say 150,000, they'll go well past that if they're taken care of. Some cameras fail before then. It happens. So, with that said, with a caveat on that is, go out there and look at the condition of the camera. If the camera looks good and has a high shutter count, and you can get a good deal on it, it might be interesting. If you can get a D810 for $600 or $700 and it's 130,000 shutter count, I'd be interested, because you can put a little money aside and eventually replace the shutter muck in it and still be ahead of the game. That's if it fails. It probably won't. That's the whole thing. It may go on. You may not have a failure. If it does, if you have to replace it, you're still ahead of the game. The 7100, 7200, 7500 series, hey, you can get one with, hey, you find one 80, 90,000 shutter clicks on it, the guy only wants $400 or $500 for it, $300, it might be interesting. So it's price plus the condition of the body. Those are things I'd look at. Number 2, condition of the body. You pick up a camera body, and I'm going to pick up my well-worn D810 right here. Oh, sorry, that's 7100. Wrong camera. Here it is, right here. This camera body is well worn. It has metal showing all along the bottom where the grip's rubbed on it. Same with over here. And if you look at the rubber, which you can't hardly see on here, but the rubber's all worn. It's showing wear. There's dust in the viewfinder. There's some chips right along the screen protector somebody put on here. So all that signs of wear. Okay? Once again, what's the guy want for the camera? Is the camera fully functional? That's the next thing you're going to have to find out. Pick the camera up, turn it on, see if everything works. Okay, everything works, and the guy's like, yeah, I'll take this much for it, and say it's significantly less than what you would pay for a nicer example. Might be interesting. Now, some of y'all don't have the comfort level of this, and that's fine. And let me say why that's fine. If you want to spend a little bit more money and get something that's nicer, closer to new, that's completely understandable. Camera looks like it's falling down on. There we go. So, camera body shape. Pick it up, look for scratches, dents, paint peeling away, the rubber not in good shape. These little rubber doors covering where the grips go. where the battery grip connects. Make sure that's in there. You know, if everything looks in good shape, there you go. Now, open the battery door up and pull the battery out. Make sure they're sending you a Nikon battery with these things. Aftermarket batteries sometimes cause problems. This camera actually locked up with an aftermarket battery. Pulled the battery out, put a Nikon battery back in, ran fine. So, check to see if you're getting a Nikon battery with it. That's important. Okay. The last thing we're going to talk about is where to buy a used camera body. And that's like, well, that's simple, you know. Not really. You need to look at what your options are. First off, define what you want to go buy. So say, hey, you know, I'm looking for a used D7100 or 7200. Okay. Next stop I would do is I would go find if there's a used camera store in town. If you live in Atlanta, Wings Digital Camera. They're down on Claremont Avenue area. Great guys. Go down there and talk to Mike. Those guys are fantastic. Go in there, pick it up, play with it, look at it. That would be my first stop. You know, I know down in Orlando you have Colonial Camera. Those guys deal with used equipment. So check your towns, see what's around. I know Dallas has used camera stores. I'm pretty sure if you live near a major town, you'll find one. They're kind of going away, but that would be my first stop. That way you pick it up, look at it, see how it functions, talk to them about it. That would be kind of the highest level of place to go see. The next level down would be the online people who sell used cameras. And when I talk about that, we're going to talk about KEH. We're talking about Roberts Camera, Adorama. All these guys have used camera equipment they sell. Sometimes they sell it on eBay. Sometimes they have a web page. KEH only sells online, so you can go pick it up at their store if you live in Atlanta, but you have to order it online. And the reason why I say this is the next level, you can't go physically pick it up and look at it before you buy it, but you get a warranty on it, and they're really good about describing. You can go in there and it'll say, you know, very good condition. It's generally very good condition. Sometimes they're uglies, believe it or not, aren't as ugly as they say. So sometimes you go in there and buy something that says it's ugly and get a good deal. All right, so that's the next level. I would rank below that eBay. And the reason why I say that before that eBay's above other stuff is if you use PayPal to pay on eBay and you're delivered something that doesn't meet the description, then you can go dispute it at PayPal and possibly get your money back. That's a big deal. The bottom of the barrel would be Marketplace on Facebook and Craigslist. The only reason I put that at the bottom because there's some danger involved there with having to meet up with somebody and or possibly, you know, it being a scam. If you're doing Marketplace and you're doing Craigslist, number one, meet up at a public place. Number two, do not hand them the money until you inspect what you're buying. If they will not allow you to do that, don't do business with them. That simple. If they won't meet you at a public place or a police station, somewhere safe, you don't do business with them. Period. And that'll keep you safe and keep you from getting scammed on those. Don't prepay for anything on Craigslist or Marketplace, ever. Because you have no protection. So, get out there and find you a camera. Define what your budget is and define what your needs are. And here's the last thing I'm going to say, and this is pot calling the kettle black. Because I'm a gear hoarder. I'll tell you. I have gas. I have gear acquisition syndrome. And what I want to say is, if your present equipment is doing the job, and the new piece of equipment will not make the job easier or improve the job, you don't need it. Now, this is coming from the guy who's an absolute idiot in all this. I tell you flat out. If the piece of equipment will not make your life easier, it will not, if it does not improve the output of what you're doing, you don't need it. Now, let me quantify that. If you're shooting with a 6 megapixel D70, you can still put out nice pictures. I'm not denying that. But moving up to a 24 megapixel D70-200 is a big jump. And it will give you some improvement. Hell, moving to a D5500 or 5600 would give you improvement. So that said, there's an improvement. You could, hey, this is going to make better pictures. Going to help me shoot in low light. Going to give me better high ISO performance. It's going to give me more resolution so I can crop in. All these things are good. You're going out and shooting in the woods, and you're shooting in the rain, and you're shooting in bad conditions. Well, then having a weather-sealed camera makes sense. So, these are some, define what your needs are. Now, I will tell you, I'm going to save up some money, and I'm going to sell some equipment off, and I'm going to buy a D780. And the only reason I'm going to do that is when you see this camera right here hunting for focus, the D780 has a better focus system, and it gives me closer to what Canon does with dual pixel autofocus. So that would be an improvement because it's better autofocus. It's going to give me better video quality so I can have better videos for y'all. So, with that said, think about it before you buy it. Buy it in a safe way. And get you some equipment and go out there and be creative, have fun, enjoy. And please be safe out here with all this virus stuff going on. You know, people are going crazy right now. Make sure your family's okay. Make sure y'all are following good hygiene conditions and you're doing the right things. And be kind to everybody. Right now it's easy to lose that thought process, but we still need to keep our kindness. With that said, y'all have a good day.